Hi and welcome back. In this next video we're going to look at blob detection. Blob detection is the process of fitting circles or blobs around the markers on your subject's face. Okay, so we've got the software loaded. Now we're going to load in our Pico file. A Pico file is the raw capture file that was captured in CaraLive. And we go File, Import Pico Files, and we choose the range of motion. Now this range of motion is available as part of our sample data set, so we click OK, and first things you'll notice is that two of the camera channels are upside down. Now to rotate a camera channel you just shift select the view and control right or left arrow key. So there we go, we've rotated the view. Now here we can see Leanne, our actress, as she performs range of motion. Now range of motion is a series of face shapes, and by capturing a range of motion you're given a really good indication of the quality of your data. So in terms of where you position your markers on the face will have an effect on the quality of the data. So for example, we might look at a shush shape pose here, and we want to make sure that our lip markers are still visible even though the lips curling out. It's also important to check things like the jaw, when the jaw's fully open, to make sure that your jaw markers are still present. Now the way CaraPost works is it looks at any circles on the face and it tries to fit blobs around these points. Now to see these points you just right click in a view and turn on blob preview, and here we can see the blobs. So the blobs are light green or luminous green, and we can see that even when the jaw's fully open here, the blob is still getting fitted across the marker. But if we wanted to make any changes to the parameters of these blobs, we need to go over here to our properties pane and look at the blob parameters. So the first thing you'll notice with this data is that we're only capturing white blobs or white markers. And the benefit of either using one or the other is there's actually a speed increase within processing the data, not to mention the fact that you're not getting any unwanted points within your data. So for these tutorial steps we're going to just look at white blobs, but you might have captured black markers, you might have used a pen or makeup. So here you can turn the black or white on and off. We've got some radius settings, so this is to do with the pixel size of your blobs, and you want to make sure that you're still managing to track any small markers and also any large markers. So these markers around the lips are large, and we have these settings here that we can adjust to make sure we're fitting them. So for example, if I had this set at 8, that's too small to fit this marker. Now this is where the measurement tool comes in useful, so I can actually measure this marker and it's showing me it's actually 21 pixels in diameter, so that's going to be roughly 10 pixels as a radius, but it's always good to have a little bit of leeway in your data, so I'll just clear that measurement. So for this sample data you'll find that the default parameters work fairly well, but for other captures that you may do, you may need to adjust these parameters. Now again, you just need to make sure that each face pose is giving you nice blobs across the image. That looks pretty good to me. So we're now going to create detections across our data. Now we've got a couple of options here. We could either just do the first frame, so we would go Process, Detect Blobs, Current Frame. Now if I right click in the view and hide the blobs, we'll see these red detections, which we can now select. So CaraPost has gone in and said, well, here's a blob here, I'm going to create a detection for you. And that's fine for a single frame, and we could start working on the data in that regard, but because I'm going to show you how to process the whole take, I'm going to click Process, Detect Blobs, Active Range, and that will go and create blobs across the whole data. This will take a little bit of time, so I will fast forward the video and I'll see you once it's done. Okay, so we've blob detected the whole range now, and we can scrub the timeline to have a look at our blobs. They all look good. We're now ready to initialize our brim markers, and then start to create 3D points from this data. So we're going to do that in the next video. Thanks for watching.